So, hello and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to read about the Americas, the continents of North America and South America. So, going on with the first, which is the North America. So, this continent over here is the continent of North America. Greenland is a part of Denmark, which is a European country. There have been some contentions over USA, new President Trump trying to buy Greenland. Let's see where it goes. Anyways, trying to look about different features and structures in North in America. So the countries which are part of North America are Canada, USA, Mexico, and there are these small countries which basically form the part of Central America, which is Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize, Cuba, Jamaica. These are actually the Caribbean islands. Caribbean Sea passes over here. You might have seen the Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Jack Sparrow. So these are basically the Caribbean islands. So most of my videos you would find reference about pop culture. Guilty about it, but yeah, that actually helps you remember. Anyways, so United States of America is basically this region which I'm highlighting over here. But this region of Alaska is also a part of USA, and the Hawaii Islands in Pacific are also part of USA. So Canada over here, sorry, over here. This is the country of Canada. Canada is also called the land of lilies, and it is the second largest country in the world. The first largest is obviously Russia in terms of area. Then comes Canada, which is the second largest country in the world. It has the longest coastline in the world. So it has its coastline in the Arctic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean. So it has the longest coastline in the world. So you could see over here there is a small strait which is called as the Bering Strait, which forms the boundary between Asia and the North America. So this over here is a territory of Russia, and this is Alaska, which is a territory of USA. So Canada and USA have the longest land border. So there was a question in UPSC 2024 prelims where there was one option in which the longest border was asked. There was one question in which the longest border between two countries was asked, and Canada and USA was the answer. It has the longest land border, and it is marked by 49-degree north parallel. So the border is marked by 49th degree north parallel. So one of the places which is famous in Canada is the Montreal Protocol. Let me know in the comments what was the speciality about the Montreal Protocol. It is related to environment. Anyways, moving on to the country USA. So USA is a association or conglomeration of 50 states, which include 48 mainland states plus Hawaii plus Alaska. So Pentagon is a government building, like it is the largest government building in Washington DC. So there have been many news about Pentagon canceling the contracts of certain big MNCs, consulting MNCs. Also, USA is the third largest country. So the first is Russia, then comes Canada, then comes the USA in terms of area. In USA, one of the places which was in news for quite some time is Los Angeles. Los Angeles. It is because of the rampant wildfire over there. And the climate which is over there is the Mediterranean climate, which is known for wet winter and dry summer. So wet winter and dry summer, this area basically houses the Mediterranean climate. The fire was because of one of the reasons for this wildfire was the local winds called the Santa Ana dry winds. Moving over to Mexico, you might have seen Mexico in the famous series of uh, what was the series where Heisenberg was there? I just forgot it for some time. It was Breaking Bad. Yeah, the chemistry professor who actually started running a drug cartel. So this is the country of Mexico, whose capital is Mexico City. So in Mexico, there is Gulf of California. Over here, this is the Gulf of California, right in the midst of it. This is the Gulf of California. California is a very prominent city in Mexico. Then we also have the Gulf of Mexico. Major drugs related situations happen over here. This is the Gulf of Mexico, which has USA, Mexico, and Cuba in its coast. So it has, see, from here it is USA, from here it is Mexico, and from here Cuba joins. So both of them have their openings in Gulf of Mexico. So Mexico was in news because it elected its first woman president, which is Claudia. So the first woman president of Mexico was elected recently, who is Claudia. Then Sierra Madre Mountains. This here are the Sierra Madre Mountains. This is Sierra Nevada. There was an option last year about these mountains as well. So Sierra Madre are housed in the country of Mexico. Then the Yucatan Peninsula, which has the karst topography. Karst topography is related to the cold regions, something like the glacial topography features. In the Yucatan Peninsula, the Aztec and Mayan civilization have their establishments, the Aztec and the Mayan civilization. Moving to Central America, the mainland plus the Antilles, which are the islands, the group of islands. These are basically the Antilles, the Greater Antilles and the Lesser Antilles. So this is what is called the Central America. In Central America, the countries are Guatemala, El Salvador. It has its coast only in the Pacific Ocean. Then there is Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize. So I've also told about these countries in North America. So North America basically lies till here, till Panama. There is North America. The Central America is just for reference. It is for a continent. It is a part of the North America continent. So North America extends till Panama. So the Antilles countries are Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic. These are the Bahama Islands. This is Miami and some other islands over here. Saint Martin. Saint Martin Islands of another country was also in news, which was in Asia. Let me know in the comments. So this is Trinidad and Tobago. They were also in news. So the Northern Triangle. The Northern Triangle is basically the countries of El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. This El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. They form the Northern Triangle. These are basically the poor countries over here. Then comes the country of Panama. In Panama, one of the islands which was in news was Gardi Sugdub. It is first to be evacuated due to rise in the sea level. So the climate change has actually exacerbated many more problems, and one of these is the rising sea levels. And Gardi Sugdub Island is the first which was evacuated due to rising sea levels. So basically because of climate change. Then Panama is also in news because it has the Darien Gap between Panama and Colombia. So this is the Darien Gap between Panama and Colombia. This over here. So it has the donkey route. You might have seen the movie Donkey from Shah Rukh Khan. Uh, and it actually showed the illegal routes by which people try to fulfill their American dream or the Canadian dream. So donkey route was in news because of the illegal migration. And Panama is basically the country which connects North and South America. So this till here it is the North America. This is the South America. So the Panama country connects North America to South America. This right over here is the Darien Gap between Panama and Colombia. Then Antilles, as we have seen, are the Caribbean countries. These are the Caribbean countries. Cuba is a country where the Rafael hurricane was, with this was an eventful event there. We also have the Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands are known for as tax havens. Caymans, Havana, you might have heard of in the song Havana, Havana. Anyways, Santiago also, Amy Santiago, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So San Jose General Hospital was in the series The Good Doctor. San Andreas, the game, obviously. San Andreas was there. So, the countries Trinidad and Tobago. These were in news because they have recently declared emergency. Also, Trinidad and Tobago have accepted UPI. This Trinidad, and this over here is Tobago. Have accepted. Trinidad has accepted UPI, United Payments Interface of India, which was actually created by NPCI. This is in our digital infrastructure stack, DG stack. So then is the Bermuda Triangle. There have been many theories about the Bermuda Triangle that any of the ships which go on to Bermuda Triangle are never found. There's a mystery that, like, some people say there's a black hole, and there are many mysteries, like nobody's ever found what is the thing or what is the science behind it. So Bermuda Triangle is a part of the Atlantic Ocean. It has Bermuda Islands, tip of Florida, and Puerto Rico. It's not seen over here, but please find it out in your atlases. Moving on to the continent of South America. South America is a continent which is surrounded by three oceans, so it can also be called as a peninsula. So the three oceans surrounding it are, first is the Pacific Ocean, then the Atlantic, and over here is the Southern Ocean, or which is in layman terms called as the Antarctic Ocean. So the countries of South America are Guyana, Venezuela and America. There have been some tensions going on between Venezuela and America, and there has been a trade tariff kind of conflict over there. Venezuela is a major oil exporting countries, and their economy is basically based upon that. Then we have Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil, Suriname, French Guiana. So there are three Guianas basically. This is Guiana. Then Suriname was basically Dutch Guiana. Now its name changed as Suriname. Then there is French Guiana. French Guiana is the overseas territory of France. So although it lies in South America, it is the overseas territory of France. These are the Falkland Islands. So Terra del Fuego. This is the southernmost inhabited island in the world. So this is the location of Terra del Fuego, which is the southernmost inhabited island in the world. So it is between Chile, this is the country of Chile, and Argentina. This is called Terra del Fuego. Then comes the country of Brazil, famous for its football team. The capital of Brazil is Brasilia. Brazil recently hosted G20 summit of 2024. In 2023, it was held in India. In 2024, Brazil hosted it in Rio de Janeiro. Also, the Rio Conference of 1991, or called the Rio Summit, is famous for the establishment of three major conglomerations or three major international associations on environment related to environment. First is UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, then UNCCD, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, and UNCBD, United Nations Convention for Biodiversity. So UNCBD's COP in 2024 was held in Cali in Colombia. For UNCCD, it was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and UNFCCC was held in Baku, Azerbaijan. So these are for 2024. So Baku, Riyadh, and Cali, which is in Colombia. Then Brazil is the second highest in terms of bordering countries. So second highest in terms of bordering countries, because there are many countries which share land border with Brazil. See over here, it is Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. Like except Ecuador. Except Ecuador, all the countries, except Ecuador and Chile, basically, all the countries have their border in with Brazil. So Brazil also houses the Amazon rainforest, which are known for anaconda. This is also just a pop culture reference if you might have seen the second Anaconda film, where they go to fight some drug in the Amazon jungles. So moving on to the country of Colombia. The capital of Colombia is Bogota, and it is in use because for the water rationing. So they are now following the water rationing system. Water rationing as in fixing certain quotas for people and thereby distributing the water among people within specific quotas. Colombia, there was another place in Colombia which was in news was Cali, where a COP for UNCBD 2024 was held. So it was Cali. Then comes the country of Guyana. In Guyana, there is a place called Essequibo. Essequibo is rich in minerals and petroleum, and this is disputed between Guyana and Venezuela because Venezuela claims Essequibo. Guyana and India, they have their relations as well. Second, India CARICOM summit was held in Guyana. Second India CARICOM summit. Then comes Venezuela. Venezuela is facing economic crisis. Has been hyperinflation in the recent years. So there's not even inflation, there's hyperinflation. So that the inflation has just crossed all the boundaries. It is Venezuela is also known for the Dutch disease. That disease is depending on just one sector, which is the petroleum and gas, petrol exports. So just depending on one sector, which is called the Dutch disease. Then comes the lithium triangle, the countries where lithium resources are in abundance. The lithium triangle comprises of Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. So Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. This is the lithium triangle. So lithium is essential for the semiconductors for batteries, basically. So this is why lithium reserves are important. World's 45% of lithium demands are met by these three countries or the countries of the lithium triangle. India is partnering with them in order to uh, share the benefits or in order to gain these lithium reserves. Then comes the country of Bolivia. Bolivia is also facing economic crisis. It has faced the largest wildfire in recent times. Andes. Andes form natural border between Chile and Argentina, Peru and Bolivia, Ecuador and Colombia, Ecuador and Peru. So Andes go like this. So Andes actually form a natural border between Ecuador, Peru, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, Chile, Argentina, Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru. So right from here, this is the Andes range. These are also fold mountains, old fold mountains, Andes. Then the multilateral organizations in the Americas. First is USMCA, which is the USA, Mexico, Canada Free Trade Agreement. There was a different name for that. It was, I guess, SAFTA. Sorry, it was NAFTA, not South Africa Free Trade Agreement. It was not South America Free Trade Agreement, but it was North America Free Trade Agreement. But its name is now USMCA. Please let me know if I am right. So it is between USA, Mexico, and Canada, three countries in North America continent. They have a free trade agreement. Then Mercosur. Mercosur is South American trading bloc. So Bolivia has recently become a full-time member of Mercosur. India and Mercosur have a preferential trade agreement. So the member countries of Mercosur are Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay. So these are the countries: Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Brazil. These basically form the Mercosur. And India and Mercosur also have a trade agreement. You could notice that Venezuela is not a member over here, and now recently Bolivia has also joined. So it becomes like this: Brazil, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina. Brazil is a member or not? Let me just check. Yeah, Brazil is a member. Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay. Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, and now Bolivia has also joined. Venezuela is not a member of this organization. Venezuela was suspended in December 2016. This is the South American trading bloc. Then comes the Drake Passage. It separates South America from Antarctica. So this is South America and this is Antarctica. So this passage in between is the Drake Passage right over here. This separates South America from Antarctica. We've also read about the uh, southernmost inhabited island, which was Tierra Fuego, Tierra del Fuego. This is over here in the Falkland Islands, near to the Falkland Islands. Not clearly visible in this one, but yeah, Tierra del Fuego archipelago. This right here is the southernmost uninhabited island, and this is the Drake Passage. So with this, we've come to an end of our discussion on the Americas. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, see ya, bye, and all the best for the upcoming examinations. Just 38 days left for D-Day. Thank you.